Your course has been extremely elaborate and full of integrated database. That's something I must appreciate, and because I long ago I heard that the Western society has a drive for detail. The Western society has some initiative to know more and more. This energetic initiative or this drive is extremely important, especially in the modern world, in order to convince people who otherwise would not be convinced. I have to supply evidence after evidence. It is also in my country, I am facing the same situation. I may have told it earlier that in my ongoing investigation, even the in-laws of the elder sister of the subject don't believe in this reincarnation case, even as the case is being told very vividly. The elder sister of the subject reported me last year that whenever I spoke to them, by them she meant her in-laws, the whole family don't still they don't still get convinced whether Suchitra is a reincarnation of Mamata. They can still believe. So I wondered that how on earth, even in India, under the Hindu culture, these people cannot come to believe.
That's strange, yeah.
I myself was surprised because even in the face of evidence, they could not believe. So what is needed, I think, in order to make these people believe, of course, I know it is hard to make someone else convinced, but it may be that though that family has only heard of a single case, the case of Suchitra, that family may not have heard of any other case. So if I can present a lot of cases, say 20 cases, then that family could be convinced. So it is important to garner further information on and on, in order to break through these barriers of disbelief and resistance of conviction. The point is that I have to supply even more evidence than before. I have to supply ongoing evidence, and that is what can break the barrier. So this is important, and that has been already done by University of Virginia to quite a great level, and the evidence is increasing, as Titus Rivas and Dr. Rawat once declared in their book title. Actually, the book released by Dr. Rawat and Rivas currently is actually the second version of the book. The original version was available back in 2011, and at that time, the original title has been changed. The original title at that time was the reincarnation : the evidence is building. The original title was something like this: if the evidence is building, the very sentence in present continuous tense, the evidence is building, that was impressive. I don't know whether that particular subtitle has been changed, why that subtitle has been changed, but I like that subtitle very much. The evidence is building, and this building is important, building over the earlier evidence. So it should be an ongoing journey. And this has been very much elaborately addressed by your book as well as the online course. This is a very fascinating thing. It has shown the whole world that how the mankind has up to now tapped so many apparently untouchable resources. Mankind has eventually tapped a lot of resources. It is like tapping the resources of the subconscious mind, as they say in the therapy profession. I would likewise say, paraphrasing that expression, I can say that your course has tapped a lot of resources as if from the world of the subconscious. Actually, like the subconscious, so many such people who remember previous lives, their stories had so long been hidden. Just like many memories are hidden in your subconscious, so also these accounts or cases of so many people all at various places in the world have been hidden from the knowledge base of the mankind. as if those informations, those stories were suppressed by the educational world. Our education system had somewhat pushed them down into the subconscious, and the official education system could not receive those information as if at the conscious level. Now, your course and the University of Virginia have floated those information up into the as if the conscious level of the social education system. Now, the social education can, official education can consciously access those accounts or cases. It is a very good thing. And another point is that your book has shed fantastic light on the so-called karma theory. The karma theory originally invented in India, but nowhere else in such a manner. Of course, in the day of judgment of Christianity and in the day of judgment of Islam, and maybe in the Jewish religion also, there has been the concept of day of judgment. I don't know Jewish religion so much. Maybe the day of judgment was available in as a concept in Judaism or Jewish religion too. In that case, the day of judgment addressed the karma theory. Of course, the day of judgment also addressed the doctrine of karma, but within the framework of a finite number of lives, within the framework of one just single life or maximum 6 lives. So the day of judgment was a concept, although addressing karma theory, was limited to eventually a finite series of lives, a finite series of lives. But Indian karma theory addressed the doctrine of karma over a potentially infinite series of lives. So this is where the Indian karma theory deviated from the concept of day of judgment in Christianity and possibly Jewish religion. But the pitfall of the Indian karma theory is that the so-called conclusion has generated arbitrarily that any negative outcome in a given life must be due to something done in the past life. But there is no place for considering accident. There is no place for considering climatic disturbance. There is no place for considering what is called coincidence. There is no place for considering random causes or unassignable causes. Everything happening has been assigned some cause. But we, in the world of science, as a statistician working in a USA-based company, I know that behind every effect, there are 2 causes essentially. One is assignable cause, another is unassignable cause. Assignable cause is alternatively known as special cause, and the unassignable cause is called random cause or common cause. These random causes are so subtle that it is hard to, practically impossible to assign the exact cause of the fluctuation. But for the other part of the effect, mankind has already been successful to assign the exact cause. So whatever effect is happening, say someone is going into for an interview, job interview, into the road, and this traffic jam happens, and the person could not reach the interview venue in time, and the person was rejected from the offer of the job because they could not attend in time. In that case, who is responsible? Had it been due to some mischievous deed done in the previous life? The Indian philosophy has been depicted depicted to the rest of the world in such a manner that anything happening positive or negative must have been due to something corresponding positive or negative done in the past life. But it may well be that because of the traffic jam, because of the sudden congestion in the road, that person was unable to reach. It is not his fault. It is due to absolutely an event, an unexpected event happening in the right here in this life. Not it has any cause coming from the past life. So it is the event of the person not reaching the interview venue in time cannot be assigned to any special cause. It can be assigned to some random cause, like climatic disturbance, traffic jam, this kind of random cause, in which we cannot assign any so-called cause. So this is an unassignable component working to the effect. So in the Indian karma theory has, statistically speaking, neglected the very discipline of modern science, that any event has two basic causes. Any effect has two causes. One is random cause, and another is actual cause or special cause. It is saying that everything happens under special cause. No, something happens under some cause which is unassailable. So this unassailable situation has been blamed over the past life. And furthermore, another observation is that, this is my personal observation, if a person is so much of a criminal mentality in the current life, so that because then what is the as if something negative has happened to that person, and Indian people are concluding that this person must have done something criminal offense in the past life. Now the question is that, had he really done some criminal offense in the previous life, then his mentality would have been like this also. His behavioral pattern would have been like a criminal right from the childhood. So, but there is no reflection of the corresponding behavioral tendency. Yet the person is blamed that he was a criminal. He must have been a criminal in the previous life. That's why he is born into a poor family or something. But it is curious to note that the very child who has been blamed as a criminal in the past life because of his because of his being born in a poor family, he is considered a criminal from the past life. But there is no criminal behavioral mental tendency inside that child.
Yeah.
And whenever you cross-check the karma theory with the corresponding behavioral sign, you can usually, I have seen absolute anomaly. Very fine people have fallen down into very negative situation, and very negative people has fallen down into very positive situation. So in case of a very negative behavioral pattern person, a negative mental tendency person has been enjoying something. If I say that he must have been a pious person, he must have been a virtuous person in the previous life, then what is the evidence that those virtues are coming as a carryover in his behavioral tendency? There is no sign.
Yeah.
That his behavioral signs are indicating that he must have been he may well have been a bad man in the past life.